Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 8, the Narayana Kavacha Shield. I will chant the first 11 texts myself because there is no purport. 12th text we will chant together. Texts 1 and 2. Shri Rajovacha Yaya Gupta Sahasraksha Savahan Ripusainikan Kridan Ivam Vinirjitya Trilokya Bubuje Shriyam Bhagavamstan Mamakyahi Varma Narayanatmakam Yathatatayena Shatrun Yena Gupto Jayan Mridhe. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaichar Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. King Parikshit inquired from Shukadev Goswami, "My Lord, kindly explain the Vishnu mantra armor that protected King Indra and enabled him to conquer his enemies, along with their carriers, and enjoy the opulence of the three worlds. Please explain to me that Narayana armor by which King Indra achieved success in battle, conquering the enemies who were endeavoring to kill him." Text 3. Shri Badarayanir Uvacha Vrita Purohitas Tvashtro Mahendraya Nuprichate Narayanakyam Varmaha Tad Ihaika Manashrunu. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, King Indra, the leader of the demigods, inquired about the armor known as Narayana Kavacha from Vishwarupa, who was engaged by the demigods as their priest. Please hear Vishwarupa's reply with great attention. Texts 4 to 6. Shri Vishwarupa Uvacha Dautangripa Nirachamya Sapavitram Udanmukaha Kritaswanga Karanyaso Mantrabhyam Vakyata Shuchihi Narayana Paramvarma Sannahyed Baya Agate Padayor Janunor Urvor Udare Hrid Atorasi Mukeshirasya Nupurvyad Omkaradhini Vinyaset Om Namo Narayanayeti Viparyayam Atapiva. Vishwarupa said, if some form of fear arrives, one should first wash his hands and legs clean, and then perform achamana by chanting this mantra, Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Gatopi Va Yasmaret Pundari Kaksham Saha Bhahyabhyantara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Then one should touch kusha grass and sit gravely and silently facing north. When completely purified, one should touch the mantra composed of 8 syllables to the 8 parts of his body and touch the mantra composed of 12 syllables to his hands. Thus, in the following manner, he should bind himself with the Narayana coat of armor. First, while chanting the mantra composed of 8 syllables, refers to Om Namo Narayanaya. Beginning with the pranava, the syllable Om, one should touch his hands to 8 parts of his body, starting with the 2 feet and progressing systematically to the knees, thighs, abdomen, heart, chest, mouth and head. Then one should chant the mantra in reverse, beginning from the last syllable Ya, while touching the parts of his body in the reverse order. These 2 processes are known as Utpatti Nyasa and Samhara Nyasa respectively. Text 7. Karanyasam tata kuryad dvadashakshara vidyayam pranavadiya karantam angulyangushta parvasu. Then one should chant the mantra composed of 12 syllables, referring to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Preceding each syllable by the Omkara, one should place the syllables of the mantra on the tips of his fingers, beginning with the index finger of the right hand and concluding with the index finger of the left. Means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 4 remaining syllables should be placed on the joints of the thumbs. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Texts 8 to 10. Nyased Dridaya Omkaram Vikaram Anumurdhani Shakaram tu Bruvor Madhye Nakaram Shikaya Nyased Vekaram Netrayor Yunjyan Nakaram Sarvasandishu Makaram Astram Uddishya Mantramurtir Bhaved Buddha Savisargam Phad Antam Tat Sarvadikshu Vinirdishet Om Vishname Nama Iti. One must then chant the mantra of 6 syllables. Om Vishnave Namaha. One should place the syllable Om on his heart, the syllable V on the top of his head, the syllable Sha between his eyebrows, the syllable Na on his tuft of hair, it's called Shika, the back of our head, and the syllable Ve between the eyes. The chanter of the mantra should then place the syllable Na on all the joints of his body and meditate on the syllable Ma as being a weapon. He should thus become the perfect personification of the mantra. Thereafter, adding Visarga to the final syllable Ma, he should chant the mantra Maha Astraya Phat in all directions, beginning from the east. In this way, all directions will be bound by the protective armor of the mantra. Text 11. Atmanam paramam dhyayed dhyeyam shat shaktibir yutam vidya tejas tapomurtim imam mantram udaharet. After finishing this chanting, one should think himself qualitatively one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full in 6 opulences and is worthy to be meditated upon. Then one should chant the following protective prayer to Lord Narayana, the Narayana Kavacha. This is the first mantra in this Narayana Kavacha. Text 12, we will chant together. Om Harir Vidadhyan Mama Sarva Raksha Nyastangri Padma Patagendra Prishte Darari Charmasi Gadeshu Chapa Pashanda Dhanoshta Gunoshta Bahu. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Supreme Lord who sits on the back of the bird Garuda, touching him with his lotus feet, holds 8 weapons: the conch shell, disc, shield, sword, club, arrows, bow and ropes. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead protect me at all times with his 8 arms. He is all powerful because he fully possesses the 8 mystic powers, anima, lagima, etc. Purport. Thinking oneself one with the Supreme is called Ahangropasana. Through Ahangropasana, one does not become God, but he thinks of himself as qualitatively one with the Supreme, understanding that as a spirit soul, he is equal in quality to the Supreme Soul, the way the water of a river is of the same nature as the water of the sea. One should meditate upon the Supreme Lord as described in this verse and seek his protection. The living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme. Consequently, their duty is to always seek the mercy of the Lord in order to be protected by him in all circumstances. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translations to Canto 6, Chapter 8, texts 1 through 12 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this chapter, we see how Indra receives a very powerful mantra known as Narayana Kavacha shield. And by chanting those powerful verses, one of them we chanted today, and there will be a series of such mantras. It's like a string of mantras. Just like this garland is made, it's like a string of flowers strung on a thread. Like that, there's a series of verses called Narayana Kavacha, mantras, which acted as an armor, a protective shield for Indra and the Devatas, and they saved themselves from the onslaught of the Asuras attack. So here we see that the first prayer is indicating about the Supreme Lord who sits on the back of the bird Garuda, being referred as Patakendra Prishthe, the Lord who is sitting on the back of Garuda, and Nyasta Angri, his lotus feet touching Garuda, and who also holds 8 weapons: conch shell, disc, shield, sword, club, arrows, bow, and ropes. So Indra is expected to pray along with his counterparts, the demigods, pray to the Supreme Lord that he protect him at all times with his 8 arms. So Indra is praying to the Lord that may the Lord's 8 arms protect him completely. And the Lord is very powerful to do so. Why? Because he possesses all mystic powers. All mystic powers are in his control. So we saw how actually it is quite technical, placing the different names of Narayana, Vishnu, Vasudeva in different parts of the body, in the forward order, reverse order, in particular positions, different parts of the 8 parts of the body, in the tips of the fingers, so specific. And it also requires great sadhana to achieve perfection in chanting these mantras and attain complete protection. But it is sure that one will be protected from all directions. You will see in the series of verses to follow how by chanting this mantra and the series of mantras, invoking different forms of Vishnu to protect one from different quarters, from all directions, from all animals, aquatic attacks, from spatial attacks, from extraterrestrial creature attacks, from asuras attacks, from enemies attacks. So different names of Vishnu are invoked for different particular protections. And that will be seen in the course of these verses to follow. So, we see how the Lord takes different incarnations particularly to protect the devotees, and that is Krishna's promise. So Krishna promises that he descends in this world every yuga and extends his protection to the devotees. And it's an open statement, it's an open declaration by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. So one should take strength from this declaration of Krishna and feel protected. And the Lord is very capable. He can assume any kind of form. Nobody can surpass the Lord's intelligence. And therefore, one need not fear from any quarter how the Lord will come and protect me, save me, give me assurance of freedom from fear. One need not have any such doubts. The Lord is all capable. It is described here that the Lord possesses all 8 mystic powers in full. So there is no dearth of the Lord's intelligence, the Lord's strength, power, supremacy, authority. Because in this world you may have power, strength, knowledge, opulence, designations, influence, Yet, things may go out of hand, out of control. It may not happen as per your plan. Plans may get shattered, destroyed. But if the Lord plans something, decides something, it must be executed and will be executed in all circumstances. For the Lord, there is no defeat of His purpose. And what is the Lord's purpose? Just to give protection to His devotees. As I said, that's the Lord's word and commitment to His devotees. So this is important to note. So the Lord will personally come, or He sends His representatives, He sends His incarnations. Anyhow, somehow, the Lord will extend all His protection. And one should be assured about it. And this is called faith. This is called faith. So, we see the Lord come personally in the form of incarnations. Matsya, Varaha, Narasimha. To fight with the demons physically, personally, and grossly in this world. Fighting with the demons. Similarly, in Kali Yuga, the Lord has come in a very interesting form, in the form of the holy name, in the form of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because this holy name is an incarnation, therefore the incarnation of the holy name also has to fight with enemies. So the holy name also fights with enemies every day in our life and in everyone's life. Whoever calls for the holy name, the Lord fights on behalf of the chanter. And this holy name also acts wonderfully both in the gross world and in the subtle world. In attacking the gross enemies and even the subtle enemies in this world. Only we have to become sensitive and conscious and very sharp in observing these things. How the holy name is actually a protective armor for us. Holy name is the incarnation, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Kali Yuga. Just like Varaha came and Devatas could watch. Exactly like that, those who have eyes to see can see the holy name working in this world and fighting on behalf of the devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes how this lust is sitting in different places in this body. In the 3rd chapter, it's very famous verse, the 40th verse. Indriyani mano buddhir asya dishtana muchyate. Etar vimohayati esha jnanam avritya dehinam. So Krishna says that this lust is sitting in 3 places. Mind, intelligence, and senses. Senses, mind and intelligence. The lust is sitting and is disturbing us. And Krishna describes that this lust as a sinful enemy. Not enemy, he describes it as a sinful enemy. Because this lust covers our real knowledge. Jnanam avritya dehinam. Covers our real knowledge. And it also bewilders the living entity. And makes him forget his constitutional position as a spirit soul and part and parcel of Krishna and a loving servant of Krishna. So it makes him forget. And denies his transcendental bliss in association with the Supreme Lord. Steals away all the richness of the soul in the form of Satchidananda life. In the form of the experience of the Dvadasha rasas which the soul can experience in association with the Lord. So this lust steals away all these opportunities for the soul. Therefore, he is an enemy. Enemy is one who steals your assets, who disturbs your peace, disturbs your joy, comes in the way of your joy, your way of your relationships, in the way of your peace. So like that, in the way of the soul's peace, soul's joy, soul's eternal relations in the spiritual world, this lust comes on the way. So it's an enemy certainly for the soul. So Krishna says, So this lust is sitting in three places. Because if you have to strike the enemy, first of all, you should know who the enemy is. Secondly, you should know where the enemy is sitting. Where are his strategic places? From where he is attacking. So Krishna also, just like a detective agent or an army commander, has to first of all identify the hiding places of the enemy. So Krishna is saying this lust is sitting in three places: mind, intelligence, and the senses. So just like in a war field, you get to know where the enemy is, and then you strike the enemy with appropriate weapons. So here Krishna has identified the enemy, beginning with Kama, then it goes on. Because Kama has his friends also. He has his supporters. Kama has got his supporters called the Krodha. And further he has got another layer of support, Lobha. Further another layer of support, Moha. Then Mada, Matsarya. So there are 6 layers of protection which Kama has got. So they strike us constantly. And we have to take a weapon. Just like in a war field, one has to take a weapon to fight. If you don't go to the war field equipped with armors, in the very first strike, the war is called off. It's declared. It is over. You are defeated or you are dead. Isn't it? You lie dead on the battlefield. So like that, we also have to equip ourselves with armor. Protective armor. And that is the incarnation of the Lord in the form of His holy name. So the different holy names of Vishnu, which can give different kinds of protection from different quarters. Just like on the shoulder they carry different kinds of arrows, right? So similarly we should carry different names of Vishnu in our tongue. So we have different unlimited names of Vishnu. Just like you have unlimited quivers, unlimited arrows, you are quite strong. Similarly, if we have unlimited names of Vishnu ready to be chanted by our tongue, we are in a very safe and secure position. So, just like you release an arrow to strike the enemy, you have to release a Vishnu mantra. To protect ourselves from Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Generally in the battle, the soldiers, they take the support of the commander. Isn't it? Exactly like that, in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, our Acharya Prabhupada says that in the fort of the mind, one should place Lord Krishna, the most able commander. Because generally, a kingdom is protected by the fort. So in the fort of our mind, because the mind is the entry to all the senses. So in the fort of the mind of the kingdom of our life, if we place Lord Krishna, the holy name of Krishna, then no enemies can disturb us, attack us. So we can immediately call out Krishna's name, which means actually placing the Lord in our mind. So, generally, instead of fighting alone, you should always take strength from others. But who is that others? Who are the others? Deha patya kalatra adishu, atma sainyeshu. So, Bhagavatam says, generally we think our soldiers, our supporters are Atma Sainya, who protect our Atma, my strength, my force. Just like Duryodhana also described in the 1st chapter of the Bhagavad Gita about his army, his strength, supported by Bhishma Dev. And he listed many kings. So Bhagavatam says that Deha, our body, is our support, our strength, our might. Apatya, our children. Kalatra, wife. Adishu, etc. My money, my power, my designation, my intelligence, my doctors. We may even think, I also have a gun with me. I have police protection. Some of them have even Z category protection. They have sometimes black cats with them also. Protection. So different layers of protection. Very powerful. Black cats means the last grade of protection. Almost invincible materially. From a conditioned soul's perspective. Normal person's perspective. He thinks, oh, now I'm very secure, very safe. He thinks like that. No doubt, he takes support. Exactly like that, as devotees of the Lord, we should also call for support. Because alone you cannot fight. We'll be finished off in the battle of material life. We cannot face the forces of Maya, which are invincible and formidable. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, Lord Krishna says, Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Now, why you can't overcome the force of Maya? Because Krishna is saying that Maya is also my Maya. Mama Maya, therefore duratyaya. You cannot overcome the forces of Maya. It's my energy. Formidable. Formidable. Therefore, you have to go to her boss, Maya's boss, Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says in the next two lines of that same verse, Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. If you take my shelter, Krishna is saying, you come to me for protection, I will assure you all protection from the onslaught of Maya, attack of Maya. For Krishna, Maya is a plaything, but for us, Maya is formidable. There's a difference. Sometimes we give this example. Sometimes we go for preaching and then we meet some people. Sometimes there are very big dogs in the home, the entrance. There's one small kennel. So very big dogs are there. Really big. Alsatian dogs and quite real, ferocious dogs. Even their very appearance is very scary. When they shout, it's like, really there'll be a lot of... You might have experienced it many a times, isn't it? I remember in old days, 20 years back when we used to go for preaching, sometimes those days we were totally new to preaching and then we would just enter the house without information, open the gate and go away. From nowhere, suddenly the dog will start running and coming. And these height dogs are there. Huh? It's very scary. And then the devotee, with his full force, runs back out of the gate. Someone says, Bach gaya, I'm saved. It's very scary. But suppose you call that owner and then say that I'm just at your gate, at the entrance of your house, of your gate. Then the owner comes to the gate and opens the gate and then he says, no, the dog is there. No, Swamiji, you don't worry. Hey, puppy, silent. That's all. Finished. Very powerful, ferocious, almost about to, finish you off for its Rajbhog. But so because we form a good meal to the dog, So, but then if the owner comes and says, hey, sweetie, calm down. Don't worry, he's my man. And then he wags his tail. So like that, however powerful Maya may be, but she is a very obedient servant of the Lord. So therefore, we don't have to fear. So this is called Daiva Bala versus Manushya Bala. It's the principle of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam brings out this principle of Daiva Bala versus Manushya Bala. Deha, Apatya, Kalatra, Adishu. We depend on human strength, material strength, government strength, our intellectual strength, sensory strength, memory strength, and so many protection layers which we have created for ourselves. But the devotee of the Lord knows very clearly that the Lord is the ultimate shelter layer. which will never fail if even all the other layers fail. So we should directly approach and invoke this layer of shelter. That is the recommendation of Bhagavatam. Moment there is danger, just like you are in difficulty, you call your friend. Naturally you call your friend, you call your mother. So naturally it comes. We should come to the point where naturally we'll call out Krishna, Hare Krishna. Naturally we should call out. We should come to that point. Immediately you'll say, Oh Prabhupada, Oh Haridas Thakur. Naturally we should call out. Oh Radha Krishna Chandra. Immediately, instantly it should come in our tongue. And loud call, Hare Krishna. Loud call, because loud call means a forceful attack. Just like the enemy has intensified his attack, you should also intensify your attack. So our intensification of our attack towards Maya is the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. When Maya's disturbance is more, you chant more loudly. You can see in the description in the Bhagavatam, in the story of Varahadev and Narsimhadev, how the Lord is striking Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu very severely. They are also striking, Lord is also striking. The war intensifies. And Varahadev and Narsimha also intensify their striking. Big blow. Informidable blows. And finally they lay dead. So like that, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna mantra is ever victorious. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ever victorious. His strategy, his mantra, his armor is ever victorious. Lord Chaitanya's armor is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The all-round mantra. All-round mantra. One strike. Finished. And one solution for all kinds of attacks. Once Srila Prabhupada was questioned, not sure, mostly one reporter. Swamiji, you have sent us across the world and you have so many disciples and millions of followers. So I wondered, you must be so successful, so capable, so intelligent, so versatile. You must be having millions of solutions. You must be a solution factory, giving different kinds of solutions for different kinds of problems across the world. Otherwise, how millions are becoming your followers? So, with so much success rate. So, Prabhupada very coolly answered, no, I have only one solution for all problems. Because people always come with different kinds of problems, no? Very complex, very strange. Problems also innovate themselves and they update themselves, they upgrade. So problems also are like that. They go to next level. One layer it's over, just like software. No, one layer is over. Next level it will go next level. The bugs also come in different levels, right? And you also keep on solving it whole life. Virus also goes on updating and upgrading itself, becoming immune. Problems also keep on updating, upgrading. So that reporter was wondering how you are able to tackle all the problems of all the different kinds of people. Prabhupada said, we have only one solution. Everywhere we go, we only suggest one solution. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's difficult for people to believe. This is the problem. This is the very problem. Because you don't have faith. That is your misfortune. Lochan Das Thakur therefore has sung in great bereavement. He has sung openly, alas, Yamaraj has punished me by not making me attracted to the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the song Parama Karuna Pahudu Jana. This is the exact translation. Yamaraj has punished me by me not becoming attracted to the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya. You see? So if you don't have faith on Lord Chaitanya's process, the Sankirtana movement, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, actually that means we are punished. We are unfortunate. If you have a solution and you don't have access to that solution, or you don't have faith in the solution, imagine, it is misfortune. So we must take complete shelter of the holy name, and it is natural to take shelter, just like we always take help from somebody. So that somebody, the Bhagavatam suggests is, let it be the Supreme Lord in the form of His holy name, particularly the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Very, very powerful. No forces can stand the Hare Krishna mantra. And this Hare Krishna mantra consolidates all Vishnu mantras. Because you will see in this very chapter, different Vishnu names are chanted for different kinds of protection from different quarters. As I say, Hare Krishna mantra is a one-stop solution of all Vishnu mantras. One-stop solution. It is a question of realization and faith. And also the Shastras are saying, Bhagavatam declares in the 10th canto, 90th chapter, in the context where Shukadeva Goswami describes about 5 super excellent qualities of Krishna. In that, Shukadeva Goswami says, just as Krishna is excellent among all his incarnations, Krishna's holy name is excellent among all the holy names of Vishnu. Shukadeva Goswami talks about this. Just that sometimes it doesn't strike us. So, you don't require any other method. One Hare Krishna mantra is enough. It can solve all kinds of dangers and problems and eradicate all worries in the devotee's life. Otherwise, just like in a war field, you have to, based on the arrow he is shooting, you should shoot a counter arrow. Exactly specific to the arrow which is being shot by the opponent. Otherwise, it will not work. He throws formidable rain, then you have to throw on either a fire weapon or an airy weapon. So like that, it's very interesting. We'll not go into the details. So it is one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. Finally, if everything fails, they release Brahmastra. But above Brahmastra is Brahman Paramatma Bhagavan. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So sometimes even Brahman, above Brahman, more powerful than Brahman or Brahmastra. Brahmastra loaded with Brahman. That is why it is formidable. But the source of Brahman is Bhagavan. So therefore, Narayana Astra. And the essence of all Narayana Astra is the Hare Krishna. So it's a Hare Krishna Astra. Above Brahmastra there is Narayana Astra and there is Hare Krishna Astra. So if you invoke the Hare Krishna Astra, then all success, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, is assured. No doubt. In this regard, I'll just share one story and then conclude. There was one Prabhupada's disciple, one Western disciple, one Mataji, elderly Mataji, and one astrologer happened to meet her, and then he saw her hands, astrology, and then he read something, and then he said, so Mataji, I think you have some, if I'm permitted to say, Rahu dosha. So I would recommend that you have some colored stone. You should wear it on your neck so that the influence of Rahu is countered. And then he gave some precious stone. And then she wore on her kantimala. Naturally, ISKCON, it will be a big issue. It will be a big news in ISKCON, right? So immediately, if I'm right, mostly it is Brahmananda Prabhu, if I'm right. But anyway, so immediately another devotee went and told Prabhupada about this instance, that this Mataji taking this precious stone and putting it on her neck as a matter of counteraction from this Rahu dosha. So Prabhupada got to know, he was silent. So next day, Prabhupada calls for that Mataji. So he sends a word and the Mataji comes to Prabhupada's room and then meets Prabhupada. And then, so she bows down to Prabhupada and Prabhupada just begins. So do you know Lord Krishna? Do you know who is Krishna? Mataji is wondering, why Prabhupada is asking this strange question? Because she is an initiated disciple. So it's not that she is an outsider who does not know about Krishna or Krishna's power. What is Prabhupada intending? So she is not able to connect or understand, read Prabhupada's mind. She is not able to read Prabhupada's mind. So Prabhupada went on. Prabhupada didn't bring any episode of the past evening. He just said, do you know Krishna? Do you know how powerful Krishna is? And Prabhupada went on. If you want to know just little about the power of Krishna, a sample, not complete power of Krishna, a sample. From Krishna's small finger of his leg, if he kicks like this and Prabhupada struck his little finger and then showed, 200,000 Rahus will be thrown out. 200,000 Rahus will be thrown out to another planet. Rahu will become planetless. So, that is the end of Rahu dosha and the precious stone in her neck. She just went out, threw off the stone. So, this is Lord Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nijas Sarva Shakti. So Vaishnavas, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are not sentimental in declaring Hare Krishna as the all-powerful, all-inclusive mantra. One-stop solution mantra. We are not sentimental or fanatic about this statement. But Lord Chaitanya has given the science behind it, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nijas Sarva Shakti. The Lord has invested all His potencies. All His potencies mean all material potencies, all spiritual potencies, all Vishnu names. So all potencies are inclusive in the Hare Krishna mantra. So therefore, if we invoke the Hare Krishna mantra, it will do all job. A clean job, perfect job. 100% strike rate, it is called. 100% strike rate. So, because it never faces defeat. Krishna is also called Yogeshwara, and Sanjay has declared it. Wherever Krishna and Arjuna are there, that is why wherever Hare Krishna mantra and Prabhupada are there, Krishna and Arjuna, Krishna in the form of his holy name, Hare Krishna mantra, but Hare Krishna mantra alone is not enough because you get the Hare Krishna mantra from Prabhupada. You get the access of Krishna through Arjuna. So you get the access of Hare Krishna mantra from Prabhupada. So wherever Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdaraha. So Yatra Yogeshwara Hare Krishna, Yatra Partha and Partha's Dasa Prabhupada is there. Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Sanjay has declared and closed the Bhagavad Gita. The end. Finished. No more discussion. No more discussion. So certainly wherever Krishna is there and Krishna's devotee is there, Hare Krishna mantra is there and Prabhupada is there, there are four things for certain. Shri, all kinds of opulence. Shri Vijaya, 100% victory. Then Dhruva, extraordinary power. And Niti. Because generally, if you are extremely opulent, very powerful, and always victorious, sometimes we know through the normal route or through the route of morality is very difficult. Many times they would have broken the path of morality to reach to that status of richness, acquiring power. So a lot of gut-butt the fellow would have done. So when these three things are there, Shri, Vijaya and Dhruva, generally Niti is not available, not present. But the speciality of Krishna and Arjuna when they are present, or the Hare Krishna and Prabhupada if they are present, there will also be Niti, morality, extreme, the highest morality. So therefore, we should take shelter of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra exclusively. Then we will be completely sheltered. Otherwise, you need not have to chant all the different Vishnu mantra, different nyasas, mudras, so many things. For every single thing, every single mantra, no. One mantra for all kinds of problems and attacks and dangers. And the Lord will take direct charge for the devotee. The holy name will take over. So I'll stop here. Granthanath Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.